State management. Why do we need this pessimism? We're doing just fine without it. From the film Precious Grains. For many, New Year's Eve is associated with festive preparations and hopes for positive change. But what actually comes to pass? Only the celebration, and nothing more. Everything else usually turns into unmet expectations. The holiday passes, everyday life returns, and everything stays pretty much the same, right? So, why does the celebration happen? Because it's a special day on the calendar and a holiday?
No.
It's because you prepare for it and intend to enjoy it. That is, through both thoughts and actions, you actively create it. But hopes, expectations, and dreams, they don't come true. They don't have that power. Only specific work with attention and intention gets results. If you have no intention, only expectation and hope, it's just empty motion. If you don't control your attention, your reality runs wild, however it pleases. The main principle of transurfing. Your life is filled with whatever your attention is focused on. Therefore, all reality management techniques boil down to one thing. Take control of your thoughts and direct them in the right direction. Whatever film reel is inserted into your projector, that's the movie you get in your life. As for thoughts, to prevent them from falling into brooding, which only worsens life, transurfing offers the principle of coordinating intention, and Tufte offers benefit. If something unpleasant happens, you must deliberately turn it into something pleasant, no matter how absurd that seems at first. Then, that's exactly what will happen. To keep bad things from happening, seek out the benefit in everything. Those who seek will always find. But there is another factor that influences reality just as much as thoughts do, and it hadn't been clearly mentioned before. That factor is your state. If your state is gloomy due to problems, your reality will continue in that same tone and worsen further. A reader once asked a key question. Why do the colors of life fade over time, and why does lighthearted calm get replaced by anxious worry? Because state must be managed just like thoughts. Otherwise, through the feedback loop, reality will keep sinking deeper into that fog of anxiety. You're feeling bad right now? Reality responds and gets even worse. Then you react to that and feel worse too. And so on over and over. This process continues slowly but steadily, becoming a permanent condition throughout life. But aren't there good and pleasant things in life? Of course there are, but the human psyche has the tendency to be more strongly impressed by negativity than positivity. As a result, we gradually lose the ability to enjoy simple things, the way we used to as children. So what can we do about this? We must realize one simple truth, as revealed in Tufte's teaching. You are being led by an outside script, and that's what weighs you down. You subconsciously feel unfree, that you're dependent on reality, boxed in by circumstances, just like characters are confined by a plot. You feel it, but you're not fully aware of it and can't do anything about it because you're living in an unconscious waking dream. This is the basic backdrop that's always there, a subconscious sense that you're being puppeteered, like a marionette on strings. At the same time, it's easy to cut those strings. All you have to do is wake up in the waking dream and turn the dream into a lucid one. And what can you do in a lucid dream? You can control it. Tufte also says that the most useful habit is not to want something from reality, but to set your own reality. You can't change the script of the current film reel, but that's not necessary. You only need to set a target frame, ideally with a braid, kositsa, technique, and then a transition will occur to another film reel, one where the script works for you. If the braid technique is confusing, it's explained in more detail and in a slightly different way in the books What Tufte Didn't Say and Tufte the Priestess too, Event Management. With just a bit of practice, you'll get it, and it's worth it. A brief description of the techniques of presence and the braid is in Appendix 3. You'd think nothing could be simpler. Don't like this reality? Set a different one, your own. But the thing is, the habit of existing in marionette mode is so deeply rooted and ingrained that people simply forget about their ability to cut the string. They do nothing with reality, it weighs them down, and they just trudge forward under this weight, never waking up. Or they try to fight what has already happened, which is completely pointless. Here are a few more key confessions from readers. I woke up and realized that I could set my own reality instead of suffering from it. When I feel anxious, I set my reality, and for some reason, it becomes easier. Sometimes I get this sudden insight that if I wake up, I can shape my reality. Imagine that. Insight. No less. There's nothing harder than simple things. But this difficulty can be bypassed if you develop the opposite habit. Pay attention to your state and wake up. You woke up, you set your reality. That's it. Set this as your intention, right from the morning, from every morning. I will monitor my state. And to notice it, you must wake up. To wake up inside the dream. Whether in sleep or waking life, it doesn't matter. The book Priestess at Fat offers a simple and effective technique. Ask yourself questions. For example, can you answer the question, how did I get here, to this place? If you can, then you're in waking reality. If you can't, then you're asleep and dreaming at this very moment. The same applies to your state. You need to develop the habit of asking questions like a child. But not mechanical questions like a broken record, conscious ones. Children have this habit. Adults have lost it. Everything is already clear, and everything is bad. No, not everything is clear. And no, things are not bad. How do I feel? What do I feel in my body and mind? Why do I feel this way? What's weighing on me? What's making me anxious? What can I do? Set my reality. That's what. And everything will be fine. This is how you free yourself from the root cause of the oppressive state, the position of a helpless marionette in an unconscious dream. At first, it will take some effort. But so what? It'll be worth it many times over. Perhaps only then will you truly understand what transurfing really is. One reader finally understood. I can change my reality. I can do anything. I realized who I am. To understand doesn't mean to know, but to become aware. Feel the difference. Summary. Your life is filled with whatever your attention is focused on. Your state also influences your reality, no less than your thoughts. You must manage your state just like you manage your thoughts. Negative events impress the mind more strongly than positive ones, and over time, we gradually lose the ability to enjoy simple things, like we did in childhood. The most useful habit is not to want something from reality, but to set your own reality. You must develop the habit of paying attention to your state and waking up. Set this intention for yourself. The simplest technique for awakening is to ask yourself questions. How do I feel? What's weighing on me? What's troubling me? Ask the question, wake up, and immediately set your reality.